The visiting team, Stratford Academy Eagles.
Welcome to Dymel Field on the campus of St. Anne Pacelli High School as the Pacelli Vikings are getting set to take on the Stratford Eagles in a non-district game. What a beautiful afternoon it is out here. The temperature 70 degrees with just a light wind southeast to 2. Doesn't get much better than this for baseball. And let's get right into it. Let's take a quick look at the starting lineup for the Stratford Eagles, the visitors. Leading things off will be shortstop Bobby Wooten. He's a sophomore. Tucker Johnston, the center fielder, bats second. The second baseman, Jet Johnston, batting third. And yes, those two are brothers, but we're not done with that yet. Jackson Justice, the third baseman, will be batting cleanup. Batting fifth is catcher Colton Whittingham. Tate Johnson's a left fielder. He bats sixth, and he's the twin brother of Tucker Johnson. Those two are freshmen. Jet is a sophomore. Braden Fritz will be the DH, with Davian Hammond in right field and Hayden Camps at first base. And at this point, the Pacelli Vikings are about ready to take the field. Let's take a look at their defensive lineup. The way the Vikings will line up today, Levi Thompson will be in left field with Nolan Vaughn in center and Merrick Miller in right. The infield third to first, Connor Zittrauer, Jacob Velos, Cam Carino, and Dustin Sherman. Brayton Hudson will be behind the plate, and taking to the mound will be Austin Dannison. Dannison, a senior, one of the top pitchers for the Vikings. Danny comes into the ball game with a 2-3 record, a 3.68 earned run average in 6 appearances this season. Opposing hitters are hitting .241 against him. He's pitched 32 and a third innings, given up 33 hits. He struck out 38, best on the team, and walked 14 batters. That's a really good walk to strikeout ratio. He's also given up 3 home runs, which also leads the team, and he's thrown 4 wild pitches. Dannison got off to a great start this season. The left-hander is one of the guys that the Vikings are counting on as they try to make a second-half surge here in the season. The Vikings come into this ballgame with a record of 8-11. They went through a 5-game losing streak, but last time they came out 12 days ago, they pulled off a great comeback, an epic comeback, actually, against Westfield, scoring 11 runs in the 6th inning, winding up posting a 17-9 victory in a game in which they had trailed by a score of 8-2 in the second. You thought it was over? No, it wasn't. The Bats came alive, and so did the Vikings. A big win and a big boost for the Vikes. As I mentioned again, they are 8-11. As for Stratford, they come into this ballgame with a record of 9-6. They are 1-2 in district play. They're 6-2 at home and only 3-4 on the road. The Vikings looking to post a second straight win, get a little bit closer to that 500 mark. It's going to be a week or so before they get back into district play. This is a good tune-up for them because they were off all of last week. It was spring break. And, of course, everybody was ready to get away, clear their heads, and get things started for the second half of the season. The Vikings have, of course, played 2 district series. They got swept by Brookstone, and taking the third game, at least salvaging the third game of the series against Westfield. They still have to play Strong Rock and Calvary, which will determine exactly where they've got in terms of playoff standing. So again, Austin Dannison on the mound for the Vikings for head coach Casey Rasmus. The left-hander, as I mentioned, has been a tough out all the way around. Done a good job this season on the mound. So the Vikings looking to see what they can do about getting things started after that week off and that really thrilling comeback win last time out. And as I mentioned, it's a gorgeous day out here. Sunny, 70 degrees. Really no wind to speak of. 2 miles an hour with a gust of 3. We've had a lot of windy days out here at Dymel Field. Today, it's just perfect for baseball. All right, let's get things started.
For the Eagles.
Leading things off for Stratford will be Bobby Wooten, the shortstop. He's a sophomore. On the season, Wooten's hitting .143. He's driven in 3 runs. He's had a double and a triple on the season, scored 9 runs. Austin Dannison looking into Braden Hudson for the sign and getting ready for the first pitch of this ball game. Stratford and Pacelli. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. As I mentioned, the Vikings looking to build on that last outing. Dannison pitching out of the stretch here. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fouled off into the screen for first strike. 1-1 count now on Bobby Wooten. Coaching at third base for Stratford is head coach Barry Veal. Kevin Long, assistant coach, is the first base coach. Dannison looking in, getting the sign on the 1-1 pitch. Comes set. The delivery fouled off again into the screen. A 1-2 count now on leadoff hitter Bobby Wooten. Now, as I mentioned, Stratford is 9-6. They're coming off a 2-game win streak, including a victory for versus a district opponent yesterday. They beat John Millage Academy by a score of 6-5. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Dannison. Swung, fouled off, straight behind home plate. Missing all the cars. So the count remains 1-2 here in the top of the first inning. Leadoff man for Stratford up in this battle between the Eagles and the Vikings. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Wooten sends it to left field. Levi Thompson underneath. Doesn't even have to move a step or two. Takes it in, and that is your first out of the ball game. So 1 man up, 1 out here in the top of the first inning. That brings up Tucker Johnston. Johnston, one of the twins in the outfield for the Eagles. Johnston on the season is hitting .277. He's driven in 9 runs. He's got 3 doubles on the year, and he leads the team. He's scored 15 runs. He's got a .393 on-base percentage. He's a pretty tough out. Dannison ready to deliver the first pitch to Johnston. A little bit outside, ball 1. Fastball. Dannison gets a sign from Hudson, and here's the 1-0 delivery. Lined into left field for a single. So base hit to left for Tucker Johnston, and the Eagles are in business here in the bottom of the first inning.
Now batting, number 30, Jet Johnston.
And coming to the plate now, Jet Johnston, the second baseman. Johnston, the older brother of Tucker Johnston and Tate Johnston, who we'll be seeing a little bit later in this ball game. Jet Johnston is hitting .314 with 7 runs batted in. He leads the team with 9 doubles. He's also hit a triple, and he scored 14 runs on the year. First pitch to Jet Johnston. Curveball grounded to short. Velos to Carino. Over to Sherman to first for the double play, and a 6-4-3 DP ends the inning. So in the inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. After 1/2 inning, Stratford no runs, Pacelli coming to bat. You're watching Vikings baseball on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Here they come. Truckloads of fresh inventory to Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,250 off. New GMC Terrains, the popular SUV known for its safety, technology, and performance, is discounted up to $7,500 off. Enjoy. No payments until July. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live is proud to partner with one of our presenting sponsors, Buffalo Rock. And without this partnership, it would be hard to be able to live stream all the different sporting events at high schools, colleges, and local professional teams every single week like we do. So we thank Buffalo Rock for their support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And next time you're watching a Georgia Alabama Sports Live broadcast, make sure you're drinking a nice, refreshing Pepsi. Delicious. Thank you to Buffalo Rock and Pepsi.
All right, we're back here at Diamond Field for the bottom of the first inning. Stratford and Pacelli going at it here in a non-district game. Let's take a look at Pacelli's lineup. Leading things off today, the shortstop, Jacob Velos, the freshman. Batting second will be second baseman Cam Carino. Connor Zitrower at third, bats third, with catcher Braden Hudson hitting cleanup. Dustin Sherman, the first baseman, will bat fifth, followed by Levi Thompson, the left fielder. Nolan Vaughn's in center, batting seventh. Alex Aponte DHing, hits eighth, with Merrick Miller in right field, batting ninth. On the mound for Stratford is Cole Pruitt. Pruitt has pitched 4 times. He's got no record, 1.56 ERA. And he's getting ready to deliver his first pitch to Jacob Velos, the freshman shortstop. The delivery, a little bit outside. Velos having a solid season, hitting .296 with 12 runs batted in. He's hit 4 doubles, and he scored 14 runs on the year. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Catches the corner, strike one. As I mentioned, Pruitt, no record with a 1.56 ERA. He's pitched 9 innings, given up 10 hits, struck out 5, and walked 6. Opponents are hitting .263 against him. All right, the 1-1 pitch to Velos. A little bit outside, 2-1. The freshman has been solid, to say the least. He's hit everywhere, pretty much everywhere in the lineup. Casey Rasmus has him hitting leadoff today. 2-1 pitch, outside, 3-1. As you can see, Pruitt, left-hander, throwing a lot of breaking stuff. Pruitt in the stretch. Here's that 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Velos walks on 5 pitches, and the Vikings are in business with nobody out. Runner in first, and Cam Carino coming to the plate.
Now batting, number 1, Cam Carino.
Carino having himself a pretty solid year, too. He is hitting .236, but he's got 6 runs batted in. He leads the team with 5 doubles. He scored 16 runs. He's been a solid hitter all season long. The sophomore stepping in, and here comes the first pitch from Pruitt. Carino shows bunt, pulls back, outside, ball 1. One thing about these teams, both teams are very, very young. Only 2 seniors are on the starting lineup for either team, both for Pacelli. Stratford only has 2 juniors on the roster. One of them is playing. Next, the 1-0 pitch. Carino shows bunt, pulls back, but he catches the corner. So count now 1-1 on Cam Carino. Jacob Velos on first. Velos is a threat to steal for sure. He's got 8 stolen bases on the season. 1-1 pitch. Carino bunts, pops it up, and it goes into the crowd. And it is strike 2. So 1-2 count now on Cam Carino. Casey Rasmus is coaching third base for the Vikings, with Jonathan Lawrence coaching first. Here comes your 1-2 pitch. Carino showing bunt again, pulls back. It is high and outside, so 2-2 count. Catcher Colton Whittington kind of wound up and looked like he was threatening to throw over to first, but Velos was already scampering back. All right, here comes your 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Full count now on Cam Carino. Vikings being patient here. As I mentioned, Pruitt is a sophomore. 3-2 pitch. Carino swinging, sending it to right field. Camping under it is Davian Hammonds. He brings it in for the first out of the inning. So 1 out now here in the bottom of the first inning, and that brings up number 3 hitter Connor Zittrauer. Zittrauer, the most dangerous bat in the lineup for the Vikings. He's hitting .407 on the season, team leading. He also leads the team with 4 home runs and 18 runs batted in those 19 games. He's had 5 doubles, and he scored 18 runs, all of those team-leading numbers. In fact, a .492 on-base percentage, .722 slugging percentage, leads the Vikings. The senior third baseman, first pitch to him, takes it up high. Catches the corner, strike 1. So 0-1 count on Connor Zittrauer. Pruitt delivers the 0-1. Zittrauer fouls it back into the screen. So the count is now 0-2 on the senior. Zittrauer in that big game 12 days ago when they came back to beat Westfield, he had 5 runs batted in. He had an awesome afternoon, 2 for 3, scored a couple of runs too. Pruitt in the stretch. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Zittrauer dribbling it up the middle, goes slow. The shortstop has to go to first. Bobby Wooten guns Zittrauer by a step, but it allows Velos to advance to second base. So the run around second with 2 outs now, and that brings up cleanup man Braden Hudson, the senior catcher.
Now batting, number 2, Braden Hudson.
Hudson hitting .265 this season, driven in 10 runs. He's at a double and a triple. He scored 12 runs as well. He's walked a lot, too. He's coached a dozen walks. His on-base percentage is a very healthy .429. So he has had patience at the plate. Vikings with a runner in scoring position, but 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning of this scoreless contest with Stratford. Cole Pruitt comes set. Here's first pitch to Hudson. Hudson, check swing. Did he go? Nope. All right. They said he went, so strike one. 0-1 count. 0-1 count on Braden Hudson. Velo's taking a modest lead off second. Pruitt delivers the 0-1. Hudson swinging, sends it to the right side, and it curves foul down the right field line. So an 0-2 count now on catcher Braden Hudson. Hudson looking to add to his 10 RBI on the season here with 2 outs. Velos with good speed, getting it through the infield, getting a hit, should mean a run. Pruitt comes set, 0-2 pitch. Hudson, one hopper, it handcuffs shortstop Bobby Wooten into left field. Velos sliding in safely and scores all the way from second. And on the throw home, Hudson advances to second base. We have to call that an E6, but it was a sharply hit ground ball, seemed to handcuff Wooten. Velos sprinting, of course, with 2 outs, scoring easily. So the Vikings taking the early 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. And that brings up Dustin Sherman, the sophomore first baseman. Sherman hitting .333 on the season. He's got 4 runs batted in. He's got a double on the year, and he's scored 4 runs. Sherman looking to add to this 1-0 lead, maybe trade places with Hudson. First pitch from Pruitt. Outside, gets away from the catcher. Hudson breaks for third, and he comes in standing up on the pass ball. So now a runner on third base with 2 outs. A lot easier to get a guy home from third. All kinds of things can happen. 1-0 pitch to Sherman. Swing and a miss. He caught it. No, he caught a bit of it fouled. He fouled tip, but strike one. 1-1 count on Dustin Sherman, the sophomore. Pruitt comes set. Here's 1-1 pitch. A little bit inside. 2-1. 2-1 on Sherman. Sherman, of course, this season got off to a little bit of a late start. He injured himself before the football season. He was slated to be the quarterback, injured his shoulder, was not able to play football, rehabbed it, and got himself back in shape, and now he's in the starting lineup as the first baseman. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 2-2 count now on Dustin Sherman. Vikings off to that early 1-0 lead, exactly what they wanted to do here. 2 would be even better. Pruitt's 2-2 pitch. Sherman fouls it up, kind of cues it off the end of the bat, stays alive. Count remains 2-2 on Dustin Sherman. Here's 2-2 pitch from Pruitt. Breaking pitch outside, so the count is now full. Here with 2 outs. Braden Hudson on third base. Looking to see if he can cross the plate here. 3-2 pitch. Sherman pops it up behind home plate, and it drifts foul. And just misses the press box. We have a roof, so I'm in good shape there. Just missed the speaker, though. Just missed the PA speaker. So the count remains full here with 2 outs. Bottom of the first. Pacelli up 1-0. Cole Pruitt gets the sign from Colton Whittington. And 3-2 pitch. Sharp ground ball towards short. Wooten scoops it, throws it, and gets him by 2 steps, and that ends the inning. But in the inning, the Vikings get on the scoreboard. 1 run, no hits. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. At the end of 1, Pacelli 1, Stratford 0. You are watching Vikings baseball on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live.
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, and here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia-Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible. To be able to cover the 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy, and Gordy Eye Care for your support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And then you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. Keep supporting Gordy Eye Care and keep watching Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Welcome back to Dymel Field for the top of the second inning. The Pacelli Vikings leading Stratford by a score of 1-0 here in this non-district game. Leading things off for the Eagles, third baseman Jackson Justice, the freshman. Justice has put up some serious, he's a sophomore. He's put up some serious numbers this season. Here's the first pitch from Dannison. Catches the corner, strike one, perfect pitch. Justice leading the team with .333 batting average. He's got a home run and also leads with 9 runs batted in. He's also hit 3 doubles, scored a dozen runs. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, catches the corner, 0-2. Dannison on target here to open things up here in the top of the second inning. Throwing strikes, stay ahead of the hitters. That's the ticket. Dannison gets the sign from Hudson. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball a little bit up. Gets away from Hudson. Ball one. Try to get Justin to chase. He would not. So 1-2 count on cleanup hitter Jackson Justice, the sophomore third baseman for Stratford. Dannison continuing to pitch out of the stretch. Here's his 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball way just a little bit outside. I can't do it as good as Bob Euchre did. It wasn't that far outside as what Euchre would call that either. Anyway, so 2-2 count now. 2-2 count on Jackson Justice. Dannison's delivery. Breaking pitch. Justice grounds it basically into the dugout. Had people skipping around a little bit. So the count remains 2-2. One thing about these Stratford hitters, they have been patient all season long. They have worked a lot of walks. They seem to have good plate discipline. 2-2 pitch. Fastball a little bit outside, so the count is now full. Justice working the count full. 3-2 now. Here, the leadoff man in the top of the second inning. As I mentioned, of course, Pacelli leading this one by a score of 1-0. Dannison shakes off the first sign, likes the second, comes set. Here's your 3-2 pitch. Ooh, a little bit inside, looked good, but not good enough. So ball 4, Justice working a walk. That's his 11th walk on the season. And that brings up Colton Whittingham, the catcher.
Now batting, number 23, Colton Whittingham.
Whittingham is a freshman. He's hitting .275 on the season with 6 runs batted in. He's hit a double and he scored 9 runs. As for Justice, he's taking a healthy lead. He leads the team with 10 stolen bases, and he breaks on that first pitch. Braden Hudson throw a little bit high, grabbed by Velos, but Justice slides in safely for the stolen base. So the Eagles with a runner on second and nobody out here in the top of the second inning. And Hudson trots out to go talk to Austin Dannison, making sure they've got everything lined up. Things looking good. Huddy comes on back, and we're going to get ready to get things going. Again, a 1-0 count on Colton Whittingham. Runner on second, nobody outs here. Vikings looking to shut this down before it starts. Justin with a modest leadoff second. Dannison the stretch. 1-0 pitch. Breaking pitch a little bit high and outside. So ball 2. 2-0 now on Whittingham. All right, here comes your 2-0 pitch. Gets away from Hudson. And Justice trots on down to third base. So, runner in third, nobody out here in a 1-0 ball game. Vikings definitely want to get out of this one. All right, here we go. Here's the 3-0 pitch. He was taken all the way, strike 1. Not a surprise that he'd be taking on 3-1. Again, these guys have worked a lot of walks this season. They have good plate discipline. And that catches him. It would have been ball 4 anyway. So, hit batter for Colton Whittingham. He drops down to second base. So we got runners on the corners with nobody out. And that brings up Tate Johnston, the freshman, the twin brother of center fielder Tucker Johnston. And time's been called. Time for a mound conference. Talking to Dannison, trying to get Danny to settle down. He pitched a great first inning. Got the good double play ball to get out of trouble in the first. In the second though, he's been a little bit wild. So here we go. Here comes number 8, Tate Johnston, hitting .242 with 9 runs batted and leads the team in RBI with 4 runs scored as well. First pitch in the dirt. Hudson smothers it, ball 1. Runners in the corners. We'll see if they try anything. Colton Whittingham, the catcher, has 7 stolen bases on the season. He also plays infield. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, ground ball to short. Velos to second for 1. Carino's throw to first is a little bit late. He is safe. It's a fielder's choice, and a run comes home. The ball game is now tied up. It's now tied up 1-1. On the ground ball to short.
Number 6, Braden Fritz.
Fielder's choice. They get an out, but allow the run to score. So 1-1 here in the top of the second inning. Things have evened things up, and that brings up Braden Fritz, the designated hitter. Fritz is hitting .219 on the season. He is the other player besides Jackson Justice who's hit a home run this season. First pitch from Dannison, a little bit low, ball 1. Fritz, .219, 1 homer, 8 runs batted in. He's also hit 4 doubles, and he scored 4 runs. Dannison the stretch. 1-0 pitch, catches the corner, 1-1. Now Tate Johnston on first base is definitely a threat to steal. He's stolen 7 bases this season. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled into the screen in front of the Stratford dugout. So, strike 2. 1-2 count now on Braden Fritz. 1 out here in the top of the second inning in a 1-1 ball game. Dennis has been good so far, getting some ground outs when he needed them. A little bit though, gets away from Hudson. Runner goes to second base. So runner on second now with 1 out. Dannison gets a sign. Here's your 2-2 pitch. Sure, a little dribbler down third baseline, foul. Scooped up by Zitrauer. 2-2 count. Here comes Dannison's 2-2 pitch. Swung, again, chop foul. Dribbled toward the dugout. So the count remains 2-2. 1-1 contest, top second. Vikings trying to shut this thing down before it gets any worse. Johnson's got a pretty good leadoff second. The pitch. Catches the corner, looking, strike three looking. Perfect pitch from Austin Dannison. Catching the corner inside, freezes Braden Fritz. So that's the second out of the inning.
Now batting, number 28, Davion Hammonds.
And that brings up the right fielder, Davion Hammonds. Hammonds hitting 167 on the season. He's got an RBI. He's hit a couple of doubles, scored 6 runs. Dannison's first pitch to Hammonds. Runner breaks for third. Braden Hudson throws to third. The throw skips in, and Johnston slides in safe for the stolen base. So now I got a runner around third with 2 outs here. Number 8 hitter up. 0-1 count, though, on Hammonds. Dannison comes set. 0-1 pitch. Hammonds fouls it off to the right side into the parking lot, and it misses all the cars. And all the window companies sigh. Here comes your 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is that. But in the inning, 1 run on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. At the end of 1 1/2 innings, Stratford 1, Pacelli 1. You are watching Vikings baseball on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live is proud to partner with one of our presenting sponsors, Buffalo Rock. And without this partnership, it would be hard to be able to live stream all the different sporting events at high schools, colleges, and local professional teams every single week like we do. So we thank Buffalo Rock for their support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And next time you're watching a Georgia Alabama Sports Live broadcast, make sure you're drinking a nice, refreshing Pepsi. Delicious. Thank you to Buffalo Rock and Pepsi.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
getting his first start of the season. DHing for pitcher Austin Dannison. Here's your 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside, 2-2. 2-2 count. Aponte trying to get on base and get something started here. Maybe put something together, a two-out rally of some sort here in the bottom of the second. Pruitt's pitch. Outside, ball 3. Full count once again. A lot of full counts in this ball game so far. This will be Pruitt's 41st pitch in the second inning. Outside, ball 4. Aponte working the walk. So the Vikings have got a man on with 2 outs, and that brings up right fielder Merrick Miller, the number 9 hitter.
Now batting, number 3, Merrick Miller.
Miller's had some big ball games here, and he's definitely dangerous. He's hitting .211 on the season, driven in 11 runs. He's got a couple of doubles, and he scored 11 runs as well. First pitch to Miller. Taken, strike 1. Breaking ball on the outside corner. I'm going to say that a lot, I think. Both the breaking ball and the outside corner. All right, 0-1 pitch to Merrick Miller. Swing and a miss, strike 1, or strike 2. So 0-2 count on Merrick Miller. You're going to have to protect the plate here. Bert's breaking stuff has been very effective. Here's that 0-2 pitch. Miller swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is the inning. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. After 2, Pacelli 1, Stratford 1. You're watching Vikings baseball on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live.
Get ready to smile. It's Truck Month at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of brand new full-size Chevrolet Silverados. Discounted up to $13,750 off. New 2025 Chevy Equinox, the compact SUV that features high-tech options and discounts up to $5,000 off. You can enjoy no payments until July. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
And welcome back to Dynamo Field as we go to the top of the 3rd inning in a 1-1 contest between Pacelli and Stratford. Both pitchers,
Batting, number 12, Hayden.
Austin Dannison and Cole Pruitt, have done a solid job so far. Both of them are lefties. Dannison throws a little more steam with it. Pruitt's a junk baller who's done a fine job out there spotting his pitches. Leading things off, the number 9 hitter, Hayden Camps for the Eagles. Dannison's first pitch to Camps. Outside corner, strike 1. Camps on the season's hitting .150. He's got 4 runs batted in. He's hit a couple of doubles, and he scored 1 run. Dannison with his 0-1 delivery. Fouled off. Nails one of these storage sheds up on the right side of the ballpark. So it's an 0-2 count. Dannison getting the spots this time. Got in a little trouble last inning. We got a little wild, but he's back. It looks like he's back on target. Here comes your 0-2 pitch. Again, fouled off to the right, this time into the trees. Count remains 0-2 on Hayden Camps, the junior first baseman. He is one of only 2 juniors on this roster. The other junior is Ellis Bridges, who's seen limited action. 0-2 pitch. Breaking pitch. Fisted into center field, and it drops in for a single. Not a rope, a flare, and it just dropped in front of Nolan Vaughn. Wasn't much he could do with that one. So a single to start things off here in the top of the 3rd inning. And the top of the lineup coming up. Bobby Wooten coming up to the plate. Wooten started off the game with a fly out to left field. He comes up here with a runner on first and nobody out in the top of the 3rd. Dannison's first pitch. Breaking ball. Catches the corner. Strike 1. Dannison kind of keep an eye on Camps on first base. He's taking a pretty good lead. He has yet to steal a base this season, by the way. And the 0-1 pitch. Driven to right field. Levi Thompson has got it. Hauls it in. Fairly deep left center field. But it's an out. So 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. And that brings up Tucker Johnston.
Now batting, number 9, Tucker Johnston.
The freshman singled to left field in his first at bat, but he was erased in an inning-ending double play in the first. Dannison's thrown a lot of ground ball type, a lot of pitches during the ground ball types for double plays. Love to do it again. Toss over to first. Camps in easily. Danny getting the sign from Hudson. Throws over to first. Camps slides in head first. Dannison comes set. And the first pitch to Johnston gets him stepping back. And so it's ball 1. 1-0 count on Tucker Johnston. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning with a runner on first in a 1-1 contest. Here's your 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball. Tucker Johnston couldn't come up with that one. So, strike 1. 1-1 count now. Dannison comes set. To the plate with the 1-1. Fouled off into the screen. And so now the count is 1-2. Ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of pollen in the air, that's for sure. I think we all know this one. We may be past the point where we need the snowblower for it, but it's still there. Lead off first base by Camps. He's now got 1 foot on the green. Here's that 1-2 pitch. Line drive. 1 hops into right field for the base hit. Merrick Miller getting it back in quickly. So the runner only advances 1 base. So single to right field puts runners on first and second with 1 out. And that brings up second baseman Jet Johnston.
Now batting, number 30, Jet Johnston.
Back in the first inning, Johnston grounded it to short, and it turned into an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play, erasing Tucker Johnston, who had that first hit in the ballgame. Austin Dannison would love to do that one more time. Got Hayden Camps on second, Tucker Johnston on first. First pitch to Jet Johnston. Fastball a little bit outside, ball 1. And as I mentioned, Jet Johnston, the eldest of the 3 brothers in the lineup. He's a sophomore. Tucker Johnston, the center fielder, and the left fielder, Tate Johnston, are both freshmen, and yes, they're twins. Here comes your 1-0 pitch. Takes it, inside, just a bit inside. 2-0 count on Jet Johnston. Good-looking pitch. Johnston held off. Dannison coming set. 2-0 pitch. A little bit high, ball 3. 3-0 now. Dannison looked a little frustrated with that one. It got away from him somehow. 3-0 count. He's got to bring it in here. We'll see if Jet Johnston's taking or not. Here's that 3-0 pitch. Catches the corner, strike 1. 3-1 count now. That was a big pitch. That was not one of those expresses down the middle. That was on the edge, painting the corner. 3-1 count now. The pitch to Jet Johnston. Catches the corner again, same spot, 3-2. Full count now with 1 out here, 2 runners on. Vikings trying to keep this thing from turning into anything. Dannison in the motion. Here's the 3-2. Inside, ball 4. Gets away from Braden Hudson, but that means nothing. Everybody just trots him up the base. So the bases are not loaded with 1 out. And that brings up Jackson Justice.
Number 1, Jackson Justice.
Justice walked and scored in the second inning. The one run from Stratford came without benefit of a hit, as did Pacelli's one run. So here we go. Bases loaded, one out. Jackson Justice, a cleanup hitter at the plate. Here's Dannison's first pitch. A little bit inside, ball one. Dannison looking for the plate. He's got no place to put this guy. Takes a sign. Here's that 1-0 pitch. Fast, a little bit outside, so ball two. 2-0 count on Jackson Justice. Dannison started to struggle a bit. He's already thrown 50 pitches. We're here in the third inning, and time's been called. Head coach Casey Rasmus out to talk to Danny. Braden Hudson out there to join the conversation. Again, Dannison has shown good control in spots, but he's only thrown 20 balls, only 30 strikes, 20 balls in his 50 pitches. He's got to be a little bit more precise if they're going to keep this from turning into anything big. Bases juiced, one out in a 1-1 game. The Vikings cannot afford to let Stratford break loose in this one. Fist pump, more talking. Head coach Casey Rasmus talking to Braden Hudson as well. Everybody's going back to their positions as Rasmus strolls back to the dugout. So here we go. It's a 2-0 count on third baseman Jackson Justice, the sophomore. There's a big pitch coming up for Dannison. Gets the sign, comes set, 2-0 pitch. Fastball fouled off into the trees along right field. So it's a 2-1 count now. Third base coach Barry Veal talking to his guys. Tell them to be awake. I think it's if he hits on the line, make sure it gets through before you start moving. Dannison's 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball three. He's got to bring this one in now. There's no place to put Justice. Now with the bases loaded. Here comes your 3-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. He may have caught a piece of that. But it's a 3-2 count. So full count, one out. Bases loaded. It's not everybody's moving yet. Here's your 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Big pitch there from Dannison. And so now we got two bases loaded, but 2 outs here in the third. And that brings up catcher Colton Whittingham. Whittingham was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. That was back in the second inning. He was erased on a ground out. On the ground out, that actually brought in the run. Fouled off left side toward the dugout. Strike one. Dannison trying to pitch out of this jam. If you get out of this with no damage, it will be a big, big deal. Here's your 0-1 pitch. Yeah, strike two. So an 0-2 count now on Colton Whittingham. Dannison, 1 strike away from getting out of this. Pitch. Fastball outside. Try to get Whittingham to chase. He would not. So the count is now 1-2 on the freshman catcher. Dannison gets a sign, stretch, and a pitch. Chop foul. It will land over by the football stand. So the count remains 1-2 on Colton Whittingham. Vikings taking their time on this one, being careful. Getting out of this, again, getting out of a bases-loaded jam. Would be huge here in a 1-1 ball game. The 1-2 pitch. Off the bat handle, dribbled to third. Zitrar scoops over to first, and that is the inning. In the inning, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on base. That was huge. The Vikings getting out of a jam. So after 2 1/2 innings, it's Pacelli 1, Stratford 1. You're watching Vikings baseball on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
My name is Sergeant Jason Swells, and this is my CVCC story. Class sizes were not too large. The professors in each class had time to talk. It was almost like a one-on-one experience. One of my daughters is a student at CVCC right now. She's going through the arts program. I've got another son who's right behind her who's about to graduate school, and he's already talking about going to CV, and he's ready for it. CVCC did prepare me for my career. They made sure you knew the subject before you walked out of the class, before you took the test. They dedicated 100% of themselves to it. It was a great experience, and I could say for anybody who's deciding or thinking about going into criminal justice, CVCC got my vote all day long because they're on top of their game.
And we're back at Diamond Field for the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Pacelli Vikings and Stratford Eagles all knotted up at 1 apiece. And in this bottom of the 3rd inning, it'll be top of the order for Pacelli. Jacob Vilos, Cam Carino, and Connor Zitrar are coming to the plate. Cole Pruitt's had a good outing so far. For those 2 innings he's pitched, he has not given up a hit. The 1 run the Vikings came up with was unearned. It was a sharp ground ball by off the bat of Braden Hudson. The handcuffed shortstop Bobby Wooten allowed Vilos to come across the plate with that 1 tally. The Vikings looking to see what they can do against a soft-tossing left-hander who, again, has been very effective, but he's also thrown a lot of pitches. Pruitt's thrown 44 pitches in through 2 innings. Dannison's thrown 60. This game is definitely moving slowly, to say the least.
Jacob Vilos.
So the freshman shortstop Vilos are stepping up to the plate here. And as I mentioned, in his first at bat, he walked and came in to score. First pitch to Vilos from Pruitt. Taken outside corner, strike 1. Again, soft tossing lefty. They're tricky. He pitches to contact. Here's that 0-1 pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. If you're going to hit it a long way, you're going to have to supply every single bit of the power from this guy. And the way he's throwing, he's not going to throw anything, down Main Street. 1-1 pitch. Vilos fouls off to the right side, and it's probably going to nail one of the, just misses the storage buildings over there on the first base side. So count 1-2 on freshman shortstop Jacob Vilos. Pruitt working quickly, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and a ball was way outside. Again, breaking stuff from this lefty has been very tricky. So strike 3 and 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That brings up Cam Carino. Carino flew out to right field in his first at bat. He got good contact. Again, you're going to get good contact. It's just he didn't square it up, which is what you're going to have to do. And again, you're going to have to supply all the power with this guy. Pruitt's first pitch to Carino. Catches the corner, up high, strike 1. Here's your 0-1. Carino takes it in the dirt, 1-1. Approaching a guy like Pruitt is very different from approaching somebody who just throws gas. You have a little bit of time to react, but what are you reacting to? 1-1 pitch. Grounded foul. Kind of back into the screen. Topped it. So it's a 1-2 count on Cam Carino. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Game tied up at 1-1. Pruitt coming set. Here's your 1-2. Carino Down the third base line. It's going to go into the corner probably for extra bases. Carino rounding first, and he comes up into second, standing with a stand-up double to left. That's how it's done. Carino puts himself in scoring position with that double down the third base line. The Vikings are in business. And that brings up third baseman Connor Zitrower. Zitrower, top hitter on the team. In his first at bat, he grounded out to short.
Now batting, number 20, Connor Zitrower.
We'll see if Zitrower can trade places with Mr. Carino. As I mentioned, Zitrower, the top hitter on the team, came into the game hitting .407. He's driven in 18 runs. He'd like to make it 19 or 20. He's got 4 home runs on the year. Here's Pruitt's first pitch to Zitrower. Zitrower showing bunt and drops down the bunt, and it rolls foul. So, strike one. They're playing for runs right now. Get them on, get them over, get them in. Because they're not lighting them up. They got to do what they can to advance runners. So, Zitrower steps into the box. 0-1 count. Cam Carino leading off of second. Here's that 0-1. Zitrower swinging. Fouls it. Back into, hits the side of a car, but after about 2 bounces, so I don't think it did any damage. You park in that parking lot, you are rolling the dice. So, 0-2 count on Connor Zitrower. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Runner on second. The pitch. Driven to right. Deep, is it? It's high off the wall. Carino had to hold up around second, but he's going to come in to score easily on the double. So, like I said, Zitrower trading places with Cam Carino. If Zitrower hadn't pulled it as much as he did, if he hit a little more to right center, that thing would have been gone. But it's a double, high off the wall in right. An RBI for Connor Zitrower. And the Vikings take a 2-1 lead.
Now batting, number 2, Braden Hudson.
That RBI, number 19 on the season for Zitrower. And that brings up Braden Hudson. Huddy, in his first at-bat, hit a sharp grounder that handcuffed shortstop Bobby Wooten and led to a run. First pitch, check swing. He kind of chased it, strike one. Huddy looking to change his approach here because this guy is throwing a lot of breaking stuff. Got to wait on it. Let's see what he does with this 0-1 pitch. One hopper sharply hits, handcuffs the third baseman. Zitrower doesn't even slow down. He slides in home safely. And there you go, another run for the Vikings on that sharp grounder past third. Another RBI for Hudson. I'm going to call it an RBI anyway. So it's 3-1 Pacelli. Hudson and Zitrower trade places.
Now batting, number 14, Justin Sherman.
And that is being ruled a single. Going to second base on the throw. So single left to Braden Hudson. Brings in a run. 3-1 Pacelli. And Dustin Sherman stepping up late. Sherman grounded out to short to end the first inning in his first trip to the plate. Here comes Pruitt, first pitch to Sherman. Sherman, drive driven. A sharp grounder that hit the third baseman's foot. Hudson rounding first and holds up. The ball dribbled in the left field. It really didn't go very far. There wasn't really much he could do with it. So we got runners on the corners now with 1 out. 2 runs already in. The Vikings looking to add to their 3-1 lead.
Now batting, number 18.
Waiting to see if that'll be ruled a hit or an error. He hit a chopper to third, and it looked like third baseman Jackson Justice kind of backed up on it a little bit. Hit him in the foot or the glove and caromed out into the outfield. They're calling that one a single. So I got runners on the corners now with 1 out, and a mound conference as Barry Veal goes out to talk to Cole Pruitt, the entire infield, and catcher Colton Whittington out there meeting. They're down 2 runs. They want to keep it close. The Vikings, of course, want to see what they can do about adding to this 3-1 advantage. When you got them going, you got to keep it going. Levi Thompson stepping up to the plate now. The sophomore left fielder. Thompson popped out to second in his first at-bat in this ball game. Again, runners on first and third with 1 out, 2 runs in for the Vikings. Trying to add to that lead. Thompson with 5 RBIs in the season. This will be a good spot for number 6. Pruitt comes set. Thompson shows bunt. Runner breaks for second. He is out. But on the play, Hudson comes on home. So an attempted double steal. Dustin Sherman, not fleet of foot, was thrown out trying to steal second after Thompson's bunt failed to go down, or pulled back on the bunt, but allowed Braden Hudson to score the third run of the inning. Thompson, blisters one, foul into the dugout. Just missed head coach Barry Veal. He leaned back, luckily. That's as hard hit a ball as I've seen all day. So it's a 1-1 count on Levi Thompson. Nobody on now, but 3 runs are in the inning for the Vikings. 2 outs. Pruitt delivering the 1-1 pitch. A little bit low. Outside corner good, but low. So it's a 2-1 count. It is 6 o'clock. You can hear the bells ringing from over at St. Anne Church. They're going to start ringing the hours at this point. Here's your 2-1. Ball 3, 3-1. We'll see for whom the bell tolls on this one. 3-1 count now on Levi Thompson in an inning that's seen the Vikings score 3 times already. Thompson would like to get things going once again since there's nobody on with 2 outs. Ball 4. And so Levi Thompson working the walk. So the runner at first with 2 outs to bring up Nolan Vaughn.
Now at bat, number 8, Nolan Vaughn.
That's the 7th walk of the season, by the way, by Thompson. First pitch to Vaughn. Vaughn showing bunt. He misses, and the snap throw to first catches Thompson, who wandered too far off of first base, and that ends up the inning. So in the inning, you get 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. So at the end of 3 innings, the Pacelli Vikings 4, Stratford Eagles 1. You're watching Vikings baseball on beaviking.com.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live is proud to partner with one of our presenting sponsors, Buffalo Rock. And without this partnership, it would be hard to be able to live stream all the different sporting events at high schools, colleges, and local professional teams every single week like we do. So we thank Buffalo Rock for their support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And next time you're watching a Georgia Alabama Sports Live broadcast, make sure you're drinking a nice, refreshing Pepsi. Delicious. Thank you to Buffalo Rock and Pepsi.
Get ready to smile. It's Truck Month at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of brand new full-size Chevrolet Silverados. Discounted up to $13,750 off. New 2025 Chevy Equinox, the compact SUV that features high-tech options and discounts up to $5,000 off. You can enjoy no payments until July. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
One-two count now. 1-2 count on Tate Johnston, the leadoff man here in the top of the 4th inning. The pitch. Driven to right field in the gap in right center. It will fall in. A flare single to right field. Merrick Miller gets it in quickly, but it's still a base hit. Not a lot of steam on it, but it falls where they ain't, and that's what you're supposed to do. So Tate Johnston leads off the inning with a single to right. And that brings up Braden Fritz, the designated hitter. In his first at-bat, Fritz went looking for strike 3 in the second inning. That's the 4th hit so far off of Dannison. First pitch to Fritz, strike 1. Most of these hits have been flares. Nobody's gotten really huge contact off of Dannison. Lefty breaking stuff's just plain hard to square up. 0-1 pitch in the dirt, ball 1, 1-1 count. Tate Johnson taking a fairly healthy lead off of first base. Johnson already has 1 stolen base, which gives him 8 on the season. Dannison comes set, 1-1 pitch. Fouled off into the trees. So, count 1-2 now. Stratford getting the leadoff runner on for the second time in the ballgame here in the 4th inning. Trying to turn it into something. Trying to respond to the Vikings' 3-run 3rd inning. Dannison's 1-2. Driven up the middle, stopped by Carino, flips to Velos for 1 over to first, double play. What a great defensive play by Cam Carino, sliding over, scooping it up, and flipping it to Jacob Velos, who was right there on second. Velos gunning the throw to first. Beautiful play. 4-6-3 double play, the second double play of the ball game for the Vikings. And that brings up Davian Hammonds with nobody on and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning.
28, Davian Hammonds.
Turning 2. That's the one thing Dannison's been able to do. Danny's thrown a lot of ground balls today. The one time they couldn't turn 2 is when the run scored. First pitch to Hammonds. Swung, driven into the gap. Is it into the gap? No, it is not. Well, it was not into the gap. Nolan Vaughn chased it down and that was not able to make the catch. It's a possibility he lost it in the sun. That is the sun field. But it's going to be E8 on that. But he managed to get it in and keep it in front of him. The one good thing, if you're going to make an error like that, keep the ball in front of you, keep it under control.
Now batting, number 12, Hayden Camps.
So Hammond's only got to first base. Usually outfield errors mean at least 2 and, maybe off to the races. All right, 2 outs, runner on first for Hayden Camps. First pitch to Camps. Catches a corner curveball, strike 1. Hammonds, by the way, has 4 stolen bases on the season, so they have to keep an eye on him. He's taking a normal, breaks for second on the pitch, and Braden Hudson's throw, one hops, and gets away. He is safe. So stolen base, the 5th of the season for Davian Hammonds. So now runner in second with 2 outs. Count 1-1 on Hayden Camps. Dannison, the big pitch for Dannison here, this 1-1 pitch. Strike 2. Perfect. Outside corner. A little bit above the knees. Camps didn't even offer at it. So 1-2 count now on Hayden Camps. Runner in second. Dannison looking to pitch out of a jam. A minor jam. It's not a big jam. Big jam was last inning when they pitched out of a bases loaded jam without giving up any runs. Here's your 1-2 pitch. Driven up the middle, but Cam Carino with a lunging grab behind second base. Mr. Carino, what an inning he has had. That was amazing. In the inning, no runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. So at the end of 3 1/2 innings, Pacelli 4, Stratford 1. You're watching Vikings baseball on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
Get ready to smile. It's Truck Month at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of brand new full-size Chevrolet Silverados. Discounted up to $13,750 off. New 2025 Chevy Equinox, the compact SUV that features high-tech options and discounts up to $5,000 off. You can enjoy no payments until July. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live is proud to partner with one of our presenting sponsors, Buffalo Rock. And without this partnership, it would be hard to be able to live stream all the different sporting events at high schools, colleges, and local professional teams every single week like we do. So we thank Buffalo Rock for their support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And next time you're watching a Georgia Alabama Sports Live broadcast, make sure you're drinking a nice, refreshing Pepsi. delicious. Thank you to Buffalo Rock and Pepsi.
And we're back at Dynamo Field here in the bottom of the fourth inning, and Stratford has made a pitching change and a complete pitching change. They went from a soft-tossing lefty to a hard-throwing right-hander. Cole Sasser coming in. He is a freshman. This is his 6th appearance on the season. Sasser 0-1, but his ERA is 1.88. He's thrown 18 2/3 innings, given up just 14 hits. He struck out 17 in those 18 innings, but he's also walked 12. Hard thrower, a little bit wild, thrown 3 wild pitches. By the way, he's also hit 8 batters, and he's also committed 3 balks. So he's a young pitcher, makes mistakes, but he can definitely chuck it. Again, it'll be a big, big shift for the Vikings, especially in their hitting approach when you go from somebody who's a soft tosser to somebody who throws gas. And leading things off for the Vikings, Nolan Vaughn. Vaughn was at the plate in the third inning when Levi Thompson got picked off by catcher Colton Whittington to end the inning. All right, first pitch coming from Cole Sasser. Fastball bunted by Vaughn. Nice bunt, but it rolls foul for strike 1. By the way, line on Cole Pruitt. Pruitt went 3 innings, gave up 4 runs on 4 hits. By the way, only 3 of those 4 runs were earned. He walked 3 batters, which was his undoing, and he struck out 2. He is the pitcher of record at this point. So Nolan Vaughn to the plate. 0-1 count. The second pitch from Cole Sasser. Fastball in the dirt, ball 1. Again, guy throws hard, but he walks a lot of guys. It's coming, though. And again, they have to completely change their approach to hitting in this ball game. Different guy, different speeds. It's effective when you change from fast to slow and slow to fast. 1-1 pitch outside, ball 2. Colton Whittingham is definitely a good receiver. And he's good at framing pitches. It just doesn't always work. All right, 2-1 count. Here's Sasser's pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 2. 2-2 on Nolan Vaughn. By the way, Vaughn in his first at bat in the second inning popped out to the first baseman. It was a little pop behind first that's just barely fair territory. Sasser winding. Here is his 2-2 delivery. Breaking pitch, strike 3, froze Vaughn. So that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That was a perfect pitch.
Now batting, number 28, Sean Maglione.
And looks like we got not necessarily a pinch hitter, but a change of DH. Sean Maglione coming up to the plate now, hitting for Alex Aponte. Maglione is a freshman.
28 for 13.
He's 1 for 8 of the season. He got 125. He's got 1 run batted in, scored a couple of runs. In fact, Maglione, I think, had a double in the last ball game. I'm sorry, he had a base. Yeah, he's had a key base hit. He had an RBI with his 1 hit. All right, first pitch to Maglione. A little bit low, a little bit outside, ball 1. Maglione, a tall freshman. The pitch, fastball, outside, ball 2. Again, Whittingham, like I said, he's a good receiver. He presents the ball well for the umpire. Next pitch, up and in. Maglione went after that one, strike 1. He jammed him up high. And Maglione had already committed. All right, 2-1 count. Sasser's pitch. Fastball. Swing. And it nails Whittington in the right foot. That hurts. Those always hurt. The shin guards have got a little flap that covers the top of your foot, but it doesn't always get all of it. You know, there's been a lot of advances in the shin guard since Roger Bresnahan came up with them about 115 years ago. But they're not perfect. You can still get nailed in the wrong spots. Trust me, I know. Been there, done that. It hurts. All right, Whittington's walked it off, and we're getting back at it. 2-2 count now, and Sean Maglione, here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1 out, nobody on. Cole Sasser winds. Breaking ball, strike 3. Again, he broke that one off. It broke. There was a big break on that one. That was a perfect curveball. So his second strikeout, both times came on very, very great curveballs. So 2 outs, and that brings up Merrick Miller, the number 9 hitter. Miller struck out his first at bat. Again, they're going to have to change. They're going to have to change approaches. On the other hand, Miller has been really good on fastballs all season long. Here comes Sasser's pitch. Inside, ball 1. Miller got off to a great start. He had a 3 RBI night. I can't remember who it was against earlier in the season. But he has been a solid hitter. In the number 9 slot, he'll be a surprise, a bit of a surprise. Fouled off, dribbled down the third base line. Third base coach Casey Rasmus scoops it up, tosses it in. So it's a 1-1 count now on Merrick Miller. 2 outs here, nobody on in the bottom of the fourth inning. Pacelli with a 4-1 advantage. Sasser into the walk. Time's called. I think the catcher requested time. Got it. Try this one again. 1-1. Sasser goes into the line. Here's the delivery. Fastball a little low. 2-1 now. 2-1 count on Merrick Miller. Miller's got a couple of doubles this season. And unlike the last guy, this guy will supply some of the power if you get a hold of it. If you can square this thing up, it's going to go a ways. The pitch, low and inside. 3-1 count now. Now it's a hitter's count. Miller can be a little bit selective here. He's trying to get something going with 2 outs, nobody on here in this 4-1 Pacelli ball game. They're led to add to it. Sasser's 3-1 delivery. Swung, grounded towards second base. Jet Johnston over to first, and that is the inning. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. After 4, Pacelli 4, Stratford 1. You're watching Vikings baseball on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
My name is Sergeant Jason Swells, and this is my CVCC story. Class sizes were not too large. The professors in each class had time to talk. It was almost like a one-on-one experience. One of my daughters is a student at CVCC right now. She's going through the arts program. I've got another son who's right behind her who's about to graduate school, and he's already talking about going to CV, and he's ready for it. CVCC did prepare me for my career. They made sure you knew the subject before you walked out of the class, before you took the test. They dedicated 100% of themselves to it. It was a great experience, and I could say for anybody who's deciding or thinking about going into criminal justice, CVCC got my vote all day long because they're on top of their game.
Back to Dymel Field, top of the fifth inning. Pacelli with a 4-1 lead over the Stratford Eagles. And leading things off is the top of the lineup for Stratford, Bobby Wooten coming to the plate. He's flown out the left twice. Got good wood on it, too, both times. Austin Dannison taking care of business so far. Here's his first pitch to Wooten. Wooten again sending to left field. And Levi Thompson rolling back all the way to the fence, makes the catch. How about that? His back was to the fence, makes the catch, leaned back against it. The fence fell over, but old Levi hung on to it. So 3 flies to left field. I think we know where to play Mr. Wooten because Levi didn't have to go left-right. He just had to go back. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the fifth inning. Wow. That just kept on going. The fence fell down again. So I have to take time here while we try to figure out how to get the fence to stay where it's supposed to. Everybody comes trotting out there. Head coach Casey Rasmus and the crew are all converging over there on left field. There looks like there's like a football there's a soccer practice is going on out there. Looks like I see Jack Fry. So it's soccer practice going on out there, and we'll see if the soccer players can help out getting this fence, getting it set up. They, of course, have to tear the fence down after every ball game because Dynamo Field is the epitome of the multi-use field. Baseball, soccer, football. You can pretty much do anything you want out here, and it is an outstanding facility. Roger Beck, of course, the offensive line coach and one of the main donors here at Pacelli, helped make this thing happen. It's got the greatest light system in the city, no doubt. If you remember football season, when somebody scores a touchdown, the light show that gets put on is sweet. But that also means you got to take the fences down and everything else. I mean, yesterday there was a soccer match. The Pacelli girls played Pinecrest, and of course you have to take down the left field foul pole too. All right, is this thing lined up? Casey Rasmus seems to be signing off on it. Umpires are out there, too. Looks like base umpire John Williams went out to double check on it. At least I think he did. Nope, he's off. He's standing in the shade talking to Kevin Long, the first base coach for Stratford. But everything looks like it's taken care of. Fence is back up. Everybody's getting back in position, and we can get back to business here. Tucker Johnston will come to the plate here with one out in the top of the fifth inning. Johnston is 2 for 2 on the day. He singled in the first, but I got a race down a double play. And then in the third inning, he also singled, managed to get to second base, but that's as far as he got. Been a good afternoon for Tucker Johnston, to say the least. So Austin Dannison. Here's his first pitch to Tucker Johnston. A little bit outside, ball one. Ball hops away from Braden Hudson, no loss. 1-0 count. Dannison has settled down. 4 1/3, 4 hits, giving up just the one unearned run. He struck out 3, walked 2 so far. Here's your 1-0 pitch. Off the fist, a little spinning liner. Connor Zitrauer scoops it up, makes the catch, goes to his knees to make sure he's got it. So that is out 2. So far, a 3-pitch inning, so that's more like it. Danny's thrown a lot of pitches so far. He's already thrown 74 pitches here, and we're in the 5th inning. That's a little on the high side, but get him swinging, there you go. And Jet Johnson comes to plate, the second baseman, the elder brother of Tucker Johnston. Jets grounded into double play and walked. First pitch. Ground ball to short. Jacob Velos. It bats around a little bit. Velos fires at the first. A little bit late. Dustin Sherman stretched but could not get it before. So it'll be an E6 on the play. Jet Johnson is safe.
Now batting, number 1, Jackson Justice.
So with 2 outs, Stratford's still alive here in the top of the 5th inning. Jackson Justice coming to the plate. Justice in the second inning walked and scored the run, and he struck out in the third. That error, the third on the day on the Vikings. Pitch up high. Let me double check. That is the second error of the game. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Justice. In the dirt, gets past Braden Hudson. Runner goes to second base on the wild pitch. So runner in second with 2 outs now on a 2-0 count on cleanup hitter Jackson Justice. And the pollen keeps coming. Got to tell you. There's Mucinex in my future tonight. Here's your 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. And no, it's not necessarily Mucinex. It's going to be the generic stuff. I'm not doing any ads. All right, 3-0 count on Jackson Justice. Runner in second, 2 outs here. Pacelli with a 4-1 advantage. Top 5. The pitch. Runner going. Fouled off. Where it's hit to the right side. Is it foul? It's foul, but it stays in play. But Merritt Miller overran it. It looked like it was heading foul. It looked like it was going to head out of play, but it curved back. Merrick Miller overran it just a little bit. Whether he had problems with the sun, I don't know. Because that's the one part of the field that is still in sun. The Sun is falling behind the first base line over the car parking lot, so he may have had some trouble because of that one. Either way, it's a strike. 3-1 count now on Jackson Justice, who gets new life. Austin Dannison looking in for the sign. Comes set. Here's your 3-1 pitch. Again, to the right side. This time it's staying fair, and Miller underneath it makes the catch, and that is the inning. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. After 4 1/2 innings, Pacelli 4, Stratford 1. You're watching Vikings baseball on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Here they come. Truckloads of fresh inventory to Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,250 off. New GMC Terrains, the popular SUV known for its safety, technology, and performance, is discounted up to $7,500 off. Enjoy. No payments until July. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
And we're back at Dymel Field for the bottom of the 5th inning. The Pacelli Vikings holding a 4-1 lead over Stratford. Vikings looking to make 2 straight victories here and improve their record to 9-11. Leading things off will be the top of the order, Jacob Velos, followed by Cam Carino and Connor Zitrar, and maybe more. We will see. Velos coming to the plate. In the first inning, he walked and scored. In the third, he struck out. This will be his first look at Cole Sasser as he changes his hitting approach, going from a soft-tossing lefty to a hard-throwing right-hander. This may be more to the Vikings' liking, if they can connect, because Sasser struck out 2 of the 3 batters he's faced. All right, first pitch to Velos. Fastball, a little bit inside, just missed him. Ball 1. Here comes your 1-0 pitch from Cole Sasser. Bunt, fouled off the mask of the catcher, Whittington. Strike 1. 1-1 count on Jacob Velos. Velos has got 2 sacrifice bunts this season. This was more a bunt for hit style, but he can drop them down pretty good. The freshman has batted in several spots in the order, including cleanup. Today, he's the leadoff man. Here comes your 1-1 pitch from Sasser. Fastball driven into center field. How much carry does it have? Not enough. It is hauled in by Tucker Johnson for out number 1 here in the 5th. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and that brings up Cam Carino. Carino's had himself a pretty good day here. Carino flew out in the first inning and then doubled and scored in the third. He's also had 2 stellar defensive plays, both of them coming in the 4th inning. One to turn a double play and the other a line drive, diving catch of a line drive to end the inning. First pitch to Carino. Fastball. He checks his swing, got a piece of it for strike 1. Again, Carino, like the rest of the Vikings, having to change that approach because you're going to be looking hard stuff now. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, fouled off. I'll say one thing. Sasser's got a really, really good curveball. Yep, bounces up and hits one of the cars. A soft tap. No bond. There's not going to be any need for Bondo or anything on that one. All right, 0-2 count on Cam Carino. Sasser's delivery. Fastball. Carino drills it to left field, and it is caught as an over-the-shoulder catch by Tate Johnston. That was in the sun. You could tell Johnston was struggling with that just a little bit. A line drive was sinking fast, even though it was over his head.
Now batting, number 20, Connor Zittrow.
From the sound of it, I thought it might have had a little more carry than that, but the thing is, he didn't exactly barrel that one up because that was a fastball, and Sasser can put some steam on it. All right, first pitch to Connor Zittrow. Zittrow takes the curveball, strike one. Zittrow grounded to short in the first and doubled in a run in the third inning. He would later go on to score. 0-1 pitch. Zittrow takes it for ball one. Curveball is way out there. 2 curveballs to Zittrow. I'm somehow not that surprised. He's going to get mostly breaking stuff because they already know about Zittrow. Zittrow with 4 home runs on the season and a .722 slugging percentage. They're going to be very, very careful with him. Sasser's fastball outside in the dirt. So it's a 3-1 count. This is a 2-1 count. It's 2-1 count, on Zittrow. Sasser winding. Here's the delivery. Breaking ball outside. Now it's a 3-1 count. I'll learn how to count sometime. If I have to, I'll take my shoes off if I have to do the math. So it's a hitter's count now for Connor Zittrow. Cole Sasser in the wind. The delivery. Breaking ball catches the corner. Strike 2. 3-2 count now on Connor Zittrow. Here's Sasser's pitch. Ball 4. So Zittrow walks with 2 outs to get something going here in the bottom of the 5th.
Now batting, number 2, Braden Hudson.
So the Vikings got something going here now. It's 2 outs, runner on first, and cleanup hitter Braden Hudson coming to the plate. Hudson hit one that handcuffed the shortstop. It was an error, but it was a sharply hit ball. And then one that handcuffed the third baseman that was called a hit. And that brought in a run as well. First pitch, breaking ball, catches the corner. Big bend on that one. Because the ball was caught way out there in the batter's box, but it did catch the corner. His curveball's got a lot of movement on it. Throw over to first, quick throw, gets away from the first baseman, and that allows Zittrow to go to second. He pulls up there. The Vikings will be happy to take that gift. So now they got a runner in scoring position here in the 5th with 2 outs. And a meeting at the mound. Sasser tried to get cute. With the move to first, it definitely caught Zittrow a little bit flat-footed, but Zittrow was going to be in anyway. But the ball skipped past first baseman Hayden Camps, and while it rolled, Connor rolled all the way into second. So Hudson with a chance to drive in another run today. Here with 2 outs in the 5th. 0-1 pitch. Fastball. Hudson fouls it off. Right side. And looks like he missed all the cars again. We'll take all the breaks we can here. All right, 0-2 count now on Braden Hudson. Sasser comes set, checks second. And the delivery. Huddy drills it to left field, but it is caught by Tate Johnson, and that ends the inning. He got a lot of that one, but not quite enough. In the inning, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 5, Pacelli 4, Stratford 1. You're watching Vikings baseball on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live.
Here they come. Truckloads of fresh inventory to Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,250 off. New GMC Terrains, the popular SUV known for its safety, technology, and performance, is discounted up to $7,500 off. Enjoy. No payments until July. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, and here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia-Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible to be able to cover the 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy, and Gordy Eye Care for your support of Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And then you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. Keep supporting Gordy Eye Care and keep watching Georgia-Alabama Sports Live.
Back at Diamond Field for the top of the sixth inning, and a new pitcher for the Vikings. It is Hunter Hall coming on in, the right-hander. This is his 7th appearance on the season. He's got no wins or losses, a 5.42 ERA. He's pitched 10 1/3 innings, given up 11 hits, struck out 8 and walked 8, has 5 wild pitches. Offensive hitters are hitting .262 against him. He does have 1 save, and he would love to pick up another one here. This is a save situation for the Vikings. So Hunter Hall coming in, top of the 6th, 5-6-7 due up here for the Vikings. Cole Whittingham, the catcher, coming up to the plate. Whittingham was hit by a pitch in the 2nd and then grounded out to end the 3rd. So Hunter Hall on the mound. Here's his first pitch to Colton Whittingham. Strike on the outside corner, strike 1. Good start to it. Whittingham, a left-handed hitter, going up against a righty in Hall. Here comes your 0-1 pitch. Close but not quite. Ball 1. 1-1 count now on Colton Whittingham. Hall's 1-1 delivery. A little bit high. Ball 2. 2-1 count now. Hall winds, 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That was nice. Outside corner, got him swinging. Hall ready to deliver his 2-2 pitch to Colton Whittingham. Fastball way up there, hat comes off, a la Jim Bouton. Ball 3, full count now. Here's the 3-2. Ground ball to 3rd, kind of an inside-out swing. Zitrar scoops it up over to Sherman for the out. So out number 1 here in the top of the 6th inning. Good start to things. And that will bring up Tate Johnston.
Now batting number 8, Tate Johnston.
Johnston had an RBI fielder's choice in the 2nd, then singled, but was erased on a double play in the 4th. The Vikings, as I mentioned, have turned 2 double plays today. Some really solid defense. Almost pulled the 3rd one off. Didn't quite happen. That's how the run scored. Good D is what they need. Here's Hall's first delivery to Tate Johnston. Fastball, strike 1. Very nice. Up on the letters. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, fouled off into the parking lot. Nope, went into the trees. So 0-2 count. Hall getting out in front of the hitters, staying there, which is what he got to do. Got to stay out of trouble here. Walking hitters is the fastest way to get in trouble. Here's Hall's wind, and it's 0-2. Fouled off. Ooh, hits the plate umpire in the mask. That'll clear your sinuses. Yeah, there's nothing quite like getting hit in the mask. And quite frankly, I wish there was nothing like getting hit in the mask. Oh, it caught him in the head. Ooh, that's worse. And he doesn't have a helmet on. I thought it caught his mask. It may have caught the mask a little bit, but he caught it on the side of the head too. Ugh. Painful. 0-2. Here's Hall's delivery. Ground ball right at Jacob Velos. Velos scoops, throw to Sherman. Out number 2. 2 ground balls, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Taking care of business. That brings up Braden Fritz, the designated hitter. Fritz struck out looking in the 2nd and grounded into a double play in the 4th. That double play was a great play. It was a grounder up the middle. Looked like I had seen eyes was going to get through, but Cam Carino came sliding over, made the stop, and then turned it into 2. First pitch. Fastball up and in a little bit. Ball 1. Hall gets a sign. Here's his delivery. The 1-0. Fastball. Ooh. Right down Broadway. Strike 1. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Caught the corner. Perfect pitch. Strike 2. 1-2 count now on Braden Fritz. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Pacelli holding a 4-1 advantage over Stratford. The 1-2. Ground ball right at Velos. Velos backhands it, scoops it, has problems, a little bit of trouble with it, but scoops it up, fires at the first, and gets the out. So no problems there. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. At the end of 5 1/2 innings, Pacelli 4, Stratford nothing. You're watching Vikings baseball on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Get ready to smile. It's Truck Month at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of brand new full-size Chevrolet Silverados. Discounted up to $13,750 off. New 2025 Chevy Equinox, the compact SUV that features high-tech options and discounts up to $5,000 off. You can enjoy no payments until July. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
Bottom of the 6th inning, the Pacelli Vikings holding a 4-1 lead. They would really love to add to it right here. Coming up are the 5, 6, 7 hitters. Dustin Sherman will lead things off for the Vikes. Sherman grounded out to end the 1st and hit an RBI single. Had a single in the 3rd inning. Got caught stealing, but in the process of getting caught stealing was a double steal and allowed Brady Hudson to score run number 4 of the game. So here we go. First pitch from Cole Sasser. Fastball driven to the right side and foul for strike 1. The Vikings have been playing good baseball today. A couple of errors, nothing too major, but some really stellar defense as well. They've been taking care of business. Sasser winding, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 1. Strike 2, rather. By the way, Austin Dannison got the starter. He did a great job. 5 innings, gave up 4 hits and just 1 unearned run, struck out 3 and walked 2 through 81 pitches, which was, of course, why Hunter Hall came in the 6th inning. Cole Sasser has been effective as well. Here's his pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, getting Sherman on 3 strikes. So that is out number 1 here in the 6th inning. Brings up Levi Thompson. Thompson.
Now batting, number 18, Levi Thompson.
Popped the second in the 2nd inning and then walked but got picked off in the 3rd. He also made a great catch out in left field, caught the ball with his back against the fence and hung on to it. First pitch outside, ball 1. He's had a lot of business. All came from Bobby Wooten, the leadoff man shortstop. He's flown out to left field 3 times. That 3rd one in the 5th inning. Levi just kept fading back. His back was to the fence, made the catch, and the fence fell over, and he did too. But he hung on to the ball, which is kind of a big play. Next pitch outside, so it's a 2-0 count on Levi Thompson. Thompson looking to see what he can pick off here. It's a good hitter's count. Sasser, the delivery. Fastball, A little bit low, 3-0. 3-0 pitch, 3-0 count now on Levi Thompson. Thompson walked his last at bat as well, but that was with Cole Pruitt on the mound. The wind of the pitch. That was a strike, 3-2. All right, count is full, or 3-1 rather. 3-1 count on Levi Thompson. Here's the pitch. Thompson swinging him at strike 2. Thompson's walked 7 times this season already, so we'll see if he works an 8th or if he can pop up with another hit here. Sasser winds the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball, inside, ball 4. So for the second time in the game, Levi Thompson walks. As I mentioned, his 8th walk of the season. So with 1 out, Nolan Vaughn coming to the plate.
Now batting, number 8, Nolan Vaughn.
The sophomore center fielders popped to first and struck out looking in this contest. Here, he has a chance to see what he can do about getting something going here in the bottom of the 6th. Pacelli would love a little bit of insurance here in this 4-1 game. First pitch, Vaughn takes it outside. Oop, nope, catches the corner, strike 1. 0-1 count on Nolan Vaughn. Here with 1 out, man on first. Levi Thompson taking a nice lead off first. Curveball outside, misses. 1-1. Thompson, by the way, has 2 stolen bases on the season. He runs well for a catcher/outfielder. Here's Sasser's 1-1 delivery. Fouled off. He's got a little piece of it. 1-2. Nolan Vaughn at the plate trying to see what he can do about advancing the runner. Third base coach Casey Rasmus dropping some signs. We'll see what happens here in the 1-2 count. Will Thompson take off? There's the question. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball looking, strike 3. So that's out number 2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And that brings up, stepping up to the plate is Aiden Bowman coming in now as DH. Aiden, a sophomore, coming here in the 6th inning. Aiden has seen limited action. He's 0 for 6 on the season, but he does have an RBI. And we'll see what he can do here.
Number 22, Aiden Bowman.
Bowman, an infielder. We'll see where things go. Runner on first with 2 outs here. Sasser's first pitch to Bowman. Driven. Ground ball to short in the hole. Shortstop throwing. Oh, it was a great play by Bobby Wooten. Bowman can scoot, but Wooten making the scoop at short, throwing to first, getting Bowman by 3 steps, and that is the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. After 6, Pacelli 4, Stratford 1. You're watching Vikings baseball on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live.
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, and here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia-Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible to be able to cover the 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy, and Gordy Eye Care for your support of Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And then you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. Keep supporting Gordy Eye Care and keep watching Georgia-Alabama Sports Live.
All right, back to Dynamo Field here for the top of the 7th inning. The Vikings 3 outs away from finishing things off, and a new man on the mound. It is senior Carson Ramirez coming into it. He is coming in a save situation. Ramirez 0 for 1 of the season, 4.20 ERA. This is his 5th appearance. He's pitched 1 2/3 innings, giving up 3 hits. And we will see if the senior can take care of business, finish things off, and give the Vikings their 9th victory of the season. And for Stratford, it's an 8-9-1 coming up in the lineup. Davian Hammonds, the right fielder, will lead things off. By the way, the line on Hunter Hall, a nice solid inning, basically one inning. He threw three ground balls and did the job. Did it very nicely on just 14 pitches, too. So now it's Carson Ramirez coming in to finish things off. And so Davian Hammonds, who struck out in the second and got on an error in the fourth. Here's Ramirez's first pitch. The lefty delivers, and it's fouled off into the screen, strike one. One thing that's going on is a lot of the seniors are throwing for the simple reason that there's a couple of JV games coming up the rest of this week, and the underclassmen are going to be playing a lot of baseball. It's senior presentation tomorrow, which kind of takes the seniors out of the mix. And a pop-up in the short center field. Ooh, Cam Carino making it look interesting, but making the catch. He's had an interesting day out in the field. There's one out. So 2 more outs to go here. Hayden Camps coming up to the plate, the first baseman. Camps singled in the third and lined out to second base, or hit that liner that Cam Carino made a diving stop of to end the fourth inning. Here we go. Ramirez's first pitch. Liner over third base into left field, and it looks like he's going to go into the corner. We'll see if they hold him to 2. They hold him to 1. That was a good job by Levi Thompson, holding him to a single on that. The ball was over Connor Zitrar's head. Zitrar didn't have a chance on that one, and it was curving into the corner. But great hustle by Levi Thompson and a great throw into the infield keeps Camps from advancing past first base. And a pinch runner will be coming in. Rylan Jones will pinch run for Hayden Camps. Jones is this is his 8th appearance. He scored 2 runs. Does not have a stolen base on the season, however. And got the top of the order coming up, and Bobby Wooten. Wooten has flown out to left 3 times, including one that almost cleared the fence. It knocked down the fence instead. First pitch from Ramirez. Breaking pitch, catches a corner, strike 1. Nicely done. Ramirez a lefty, Wooten a right-handed hitter. Kind of a backdoor curveball. So an 0-1 count on Bobby Wooten. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. The pitch. He almost went for it, just missed. 1-1 count. Nope. It was called a strike. All right. 0-2 count now on Bobby Wooten. Runner at first here in the top of the 7th inning. The Vikings trying to finish things off, leading this one 4-1. Carson Ramirez comes set to the plate. Foul. Kind of nailed Braden Hudson a little bit, Huddy. Well, that's what chest protectors are for. So here we go, an 0-2 count on Bobby Wooten. Ramirez instead goes to first. A hard throw, and it gets away from Dustin Sherman. And Rylan Jones, rounding second, will chug into third on the throwing error. The throw is a little wild, a little hard, a little wild, and rolled for a while as well. So Rylan Jones advanced to third base. So with 1 out, Stratford, the runner on third base, trailing by 3. Carson Ramirez comes set. Here's his 0-2 pitch. Popped up and goes foul. Misses the cars again. Went straight back behind us. So the count remains 0-2. Vikings looking to finish things off. Here's that 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 looking. And it is out number 2. Vikings 1 out away from chalking up a W. But that brings to the plate
Now
Tucker
number 9,
Johnston.
Tucker Johnston.
Johnston's had himself a day. He singled in the first, singled in the third, and then he popped out to third base in the 5th inning. 2 for 3 on the afternoon. He has got two of their 5 hits. It's lefty on lefty on this one now. Ramirez from the stretch. First pitch. Catches around the other, right at the letter, strike 1. 0-1 count. Ramirez getting the sign from Braden Hudson. Comes set. Here's your 0-1 pitch. Curveball, strike 2. All right, 1 strike away now. 1 strike away for the Vikings finishing things off, but Stratford, I doubt, will go quietly here. Ramirez stepping off the mound. Gets back set. We will reset and go back at it. 0-2 count on Tucker Johnston. Runner on third. 2 outs here in the 4-1 contest. A little bit outside. Try to get him to chase. He wouldn't. So 1-2 count. One strike away here. Ramirez, the 1-2 delivery. Fouled off. Lands over there just behind the concession stand. Over behind third base. So the count remains 1-2 on Tucker Johnston, who's trying to extend this game. Pacelli, a 3-run lead. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is your ball game. In the inning, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and nobody left on base. The Pacelli Vikings have taken care of business and finished things off. They take care of Stratford by a final score of 4-1. Let's look at the line score. For the Vikings, 4 runs on 4 hits. They committed 3 errors. But Stratford, 1 run on just 5 hits, 2 errors. Your winning pitcher will be Austin Dannison, and that victory will be his 3rd of the season. Carson Ramirez coming in to pitch the 7th inning, giving him just 1 hit, striking out 2. He picks up his first save of the season. A great outing by the Vikings, taking care of business, chalking up their 2nd straight victory. So again, your final score, Pacelli 4, Stratford 1. You have been watching Vikings baseball on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Thank you very much to Chris Gates, our producer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.